I move that the COVID-19 Miscellaneous Provisions Bill number 1 of 2020 be read a third time and passed.
The question is that the COVID-19 Miscellaneous Provision Bill number 1 of 2020 be read the third time and passed. Those in favor say aye, those against say no.
Aye.
Let's have it.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, I object to this motion as there is no necessity to move because the ayes have it and therefore it is going to be a waste of time for the House.
The Prime Minister does not stand good according to standing orders. Our request is very straightforward, and nowhere does the standing order says that he can object to it on that particular ground. It is not for him to object.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may, I refer to Standing Order 51, subsection 2, and I read, if the Speaker or the Chairperson is of opinion that
Order.
I am making my point.
Listen.
So,
let's listen. Let's listen.
Of you? Of you? So, I'm referring to section 51(2). If the Speaker or the Chairperson is of opinion that the division is unnecessarily claimed, he or she may, as soon as the division bells have ceased to ring, take the votes of the Assembly by calling successively upon those members who support and upon the members who challenge his or her decision to rise in their places, and may thereupon, as he or she thinks fit, either declare the determination of the Assembly or direct the clerk to proceed as in paragraph A or paragraph 1 of this order.
So the ayes can stand up and we see what's the majority.
Mr. Speaker, on the point, Mr. Speaker, before you decide on this particular issue, there is another reason why the division of votes is sought for. And the reason why it's sought for is the following. And after you heard our arguments, you heard the Honourable Prime Minister, then you can decide. The only reason, that's the standing orders. The other reason why we ask for a division of votes is very simple, is that there are, I'm making my point, why are you so afraid?
Go ahead with your point.
There is therefore, the Prime Minister for one, there are two grounds. Number one, the Prime Minister has not been able to demonstrate in any way whatsoever why it is not required for the division of votes. It's just simply read the standing orders and nothing more. Secondly, there is within this particular legislation that has been passed, the Landlord and Tenant Act. And the Landlord and Tenant Act makes reference to certain amendments that require to bear in mind Section 8 of the Constitution of Mauritius. Let me go on. There is Section 8 of the Constitution of Mauritius that states it's about deprivation of property. So therefore, in order for this legislation to pass, it requires to stand the constitutional test. And for that to do so within the National Assembly, it has to go for the division of votes. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, if you, as person presiding over this session, later on another institution may be called upon to decide whether this particular law had obtained the necessary majority in order to satisfy the constitutional test. Hence, the need for division of votes. So this is a very specific matter. Because of Section 8 of the Constitution, because there is a deprivation of property.
Okay, you made your point.
That is...
You made your point already.
I'm not shocked.
You made your point. So my ruling would be those in favor of the bill just stand up and let me see the majority. I'm satisfied there is a majority. So I put the question. Please be seated. The question is that the quarantine bill of number 1 of 2020 be read the third time and passed. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I move for adjournment of the House to Thursday, the 4th of June at 17. Quarantine is already passed and third time? No. Oh, okay. So I move that the quarantine bill of number 2 of 2020 be read a third time and passed.
I second.
The question, I put the question again. The question is that the quarantine bill number 1 of 2020 be read the third time and passed. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Is there a motion?
Adjournment? There is a motion for division of vote. For the quarantine bill also, we'll proceed the same way. Those in favor of this bill, please stand up and let me see the majority. Please be seated. I'm satisfied there is majority. So the motion for the adjournment of the House for?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I move that the House be adjourned to Thursday, the 4th of June at 1700 hours.